Hello everyone, my name is Hamza Yaz and I am the student of bachelor's. Today I am making this video to explain the concept of how the ethics in Asian countries is different from the ethics of Western countries. So let's start this. In the area of philosophy known as ethics, the primary focus is on the investigation of the ethical standard and principles that track the actions of humans. At its core, this discipline is concerned with the investigation of questions such as what is morally right or wrong, good or bad, and how individuals and societies should behave. The study of the ethics provide a structure for evaluating the ethical repercussions of various behaviors and making decisions. Although the molarity of mainland Asia and that of Western countries are very different from one another, and it is essential to keep in mind that the two regions are very different from one another and have broad variety of society, strict and psychological custom, such as the consequence of any generalization can blow out of proportion the specific and complexity of each sector. On the other hand, one can recognize the following primary distinction. Religious and philosophical tradition, Confucianism, Buddhism, Hinduism are just a few of the religions and philosophies that have a significant impact on the moral of Asian culture. Many of these cultural practices place an emphasis on the way in which individuals are intertwined with both society and natural world. On the other hand, Western ethics, such which are frequently influenced by the Christian tradition, place an emphasis on individual rights, autonomy, and absence with norms or orders. Individualism versus communitarism. Individual rights and autonomy are frequently prioritized over the welfare of the community or the family. In the Asian ethical framework, there are significant advantages in the area of labor, social, and preservation of social control. When this happen, Western morality will once again generally center its attention on the privilege, opportunity, and independence of the individual. A strong focus is placed in Asian morality on friendly connection and orders such as hiring of relatives, seniors, and specialists. This individual the obligation to pay respect to those who are more experienced in their field. In many situations, maintaining connection and meeting one's commitment to one's community is an essential component of moral navigation, despite the fact that connection and obligation are still regarded as crucial. Western morality plays a large focus on individuals, organization, and individual decision making. This is despite the fact that connections and obligations are still important. Thinking morally in Asian ethical system, there is typically an emphasis placed on moral reasoning that is both initiative and context-based. The social norms, practices, and the particulars of any given circumstances all have an impact on the moral choices that an individual make. In particular, the philosophical tradition of Western ethics lay a high focus on abstract thinking, universal principles, as well as the application of logical framework to process of moral decision making. Perspective on the natural world and the environmental Asian ethics frequently incorporate a profound of for the natural world and the independence of humanity and the rest of the natural world. That need of coordination and harm only between human and the nature is emphasized by several philosophical practices such as Confucianism and Buddhism. In general, Western moral ideas are more humanism, which means they are concentrated on human interest and frequently saw nature as an asset that could be utilized. It's essential to keep in mind that these are generalized and that there are great deal of writing ethical framework of both East and West. There is a high likelihood that numerous the network inside each district will adopt a convocation of the moral standards and value associated with other cultures, so producing a moral landscape that is both complicated and convoluted. I hope this video will find you better and help you in understanding little bit about the difference between Asian and Western ethics. Thank you so much.